I'm Lazlo Thomas, and for my 8th grade project, I built a treehouse. I decided to build a treehouse because I always enjoyed the idea of having almost like a second home somewhere near to my house that I could go out and visit or hang out with my friends or even spend the night. And so I always enjoyed the idea of having something like that. The next step was finding a mentor for the project. And my neighbor, Django Kroner, who happens to be a professional treehouse builder, agreed to be my mentor. The next thing to do was find a suitable tree to build my treehouse in, and after looking around our property for a while, we finally found this red oak tree right here, and we were pretty sure this was going to be the one we were going to use right away because it was so big and tall, and a red oak is also one of the strongest wood to build a treehouse in. So once my mentor saw this and I saw this, we both agreed that this was going to be the one we were going to use. So at the treehouse site, there's a very steep hill that we had to build on. So right away we knew that we had to build a platform so that we would have a flat surface to work off of. And after we had that flat surface to work off of, we had to get all of our materials down to the site. And this was definitely not easy. We would have to take everything that we used for the treehouse either up the hill from our house to the treehouse, or we would drive up to my neighbor's house and come down the hill with all the different materials. And so that took us a while. After we had all of the lumber and hardware that we needed, we got a bunch of scaffolding from Midwest Grip and Lighting, which is a company that my dad sometimes works for, and so they were generous and lent us some of their scaffolding, and we knew we wanted some scaffolding so that we would be able to get high enough up in the tree to build a pretty serious tree house. So normally building a platform like this on the ground would be pretty easy, but being about 20 to 28 feet up in the air, it was definitely not easy. And for the most part, it was just me and my dad doing all the different construction. And the first thing we had to do was put in 2 tabs, which are tree attachment bolts on both sides of the tree. And this took us a while for each of them because we had to drill a hole that was 6 inches deep, and then we had to use a wrench and actually a pipe attached to it to get enough leverage to screw that bolt into the tree. And after we had one in both sides, we were able to put up our first beams. After we had our first beams up, we then started on the framing process, and the framing process took us a while. After we had the framing done, we then had to use our knee braces to help support the treehouse. And for the knee braces, we had to put other tabs, treehouse attachment bolts, into the tree lower down and put our other beams at a 45-degree angle. So here's the tree, and then our 2 tabs stick out like this, and our 2 main sister beams run parallel to each other like this. And on top of that, we have all of our framing joists running perpendicular to them, and on top of that, we have our decking boards that will go parallel to our main sistered beams. So with the construction of this main platform, it's definitely overbuilt, and so it can support a lot of weight. And we did this so that one day I can eventually add walls and a roof and make it an actual house. And that's something I'm looking forward to, coming up here with my friends or even my family and just enjoying being up this high and all the different scenery. I'd like to thank my mentor Django Kroner, my mom and my dad, my grandparents, my neighbors Tom and Mary Kay, Ezra and Luke Shelley, my sister Stella and her boyfriend Jack, our friend Mark DeYoung, and Midwest Grip and Lighting. Hopefully once this is all built, I can escape my family and go out into my treehouse and stay out here for as long as I want.